Hello everybody, welcome to Frank and Angie's Anti-Shyster Retire Abroad, Live Like a King channel. No, that's not all we do. We also enjoy ourselves living well on small means and having a wonderful life abroad. Yes, it is possible. We've been in Ecuador for 6 years and have never paid more than $300 for a house or apartment. However, I just received, well, let me show you instead of telling you. The latest Ram magazine pumping. Now, this is not to pick on any particular Ram magazine, because as you know already, and we all know, they're all the same. But before I go into this, I want to show you something else. I think it's going to kind of rock your rocking chair a little bit. Here's a 1986, 30 years ago, Islands Property Report newsletter. And it says, if you've ever wished you could live on a Caribbean island, this could be the year to discover the bargain of your life. Now, this is 30 years ago, guys. Now let's see if we've heard this before. Can you imagine it starts living in a home like this? You wake to the sound of gentle surf beyond your window. The warming sun greets you as you step onto your pool deck, where you're surrounded by the vibrant colors of your perpetually blossoming garden. A magnificent blue-green sea stretches before you. Oh my gosh, I want to throw my swimming suit on and leave right now. You are not on vacation, you're in your own home. And you can stay as long as you like, perhaps forever, on an island that you love. Live on a Caribbean island. And that was 30 years ago. And 30 years later, we're at it again, folks. The best of life in the Caribbean on a budget of as little as $13.55 a month. And the haven I'm talking about is the Dominican Republic. Live well on $13.55 a month. Now, this is the really interesting part, that we start out with the $13.65 right here. Oops, let me get this into the window for you. Own a 3-bedroom home just off the beach, not even on the beach, for as little as $244,000. Now wait a second, what happened to $13.65 a month? Here's another one. Take advantage of easy path to residency. Access high quality and affordable medical care. Property values in all these locations represent some of the best buys, not only in the region but on a global scale. Well, we've already busted that rumor in a different video where we showed 13 cities, beach cities in the USA that are affordable. So we've already busted that. But these promotions are all the same. Why the Dominican Republic's time has come. Well, why don't you tell that to these folks of Island Properties Report from 30 years ago. Live on a Caribbean island. Satisfaction guaranteed. Now, I have to say that their pitches are getting smarter, because in that 30-year-old pitch, they said nothing about your Social Security check. Interestingly, property upside of 12% for who? Not for the $13.65 a month guys, right? And who's going to pay all those rents? I just want to point out here that the average Social Security check. Really? So the average Social Security check is, wait a second. What is going on here? Then we jump into expensive properties, but there's more to say about this. Let me show you. For one, they have on a budget of $13.55 would provide a good lifestyle without having to watch pennies, as you might back home. Lux Life without the price tag. Tax-free. I hate to break it to you, but people on $1,365 a month in the U.S. aren't paying taxes on that. Here's a sample monthly budget for a couple. Rent $600 a month, mid-range, one-bedroom apartment. Now, when I see this, guys, I think to myself, okay, is that luxury living, a one-bedroom apartment for $600? Let's take a look. Here we have a one-bedroom 70-meter apartment. That's only around less than 800 square feet for $550. Here's a four-bedroom apartment for $1,600. Don't let the little P in front of the money confuse you. That's just because it's the ad is in the DR, but that's dollars. I've followed these ads through, and those are U.S. dollars. There's a better bargain, a three-bedroom 124 meter for $550. As you'll see, though, those are not as common as the promotions make it sound. Here's another 120 meter apartment. These are in Santo Domingo for $1,050. Here's an apartment furnished 50 meter. This is barely 600 square feet for almost $700. So yeah, you know, you're going to get 50 to 70 meters for $600. Does that sound like luxury living to you? That's a $3,000 apartment, but it is big. Here's a two-bedroom, 110 meter. It is got ocean view. It has ocean view for $920. $1,700 for a two-bedroom. You might say, well, that's a nice pool, and it is. Here's a two-bedroom, 120 meters, which is only around barely 1,300 square feet for $900. Have you seen enough yet? $2,100 for a three-bedroom, just because they got a pool. $1,200 for a two-bedroom. That one doesn't even have an ocean view. Three-bedroom for $1,500. I don't know. I'm not seeing the $1,365 and 50 to 70 meter apartments for the $600. Just doesn't sound like luxury living to me. As a general rule, in the Dominican Republic, they're earning around, that's a yearly figure, so it's about $1,350 per month. So you can believe they're not paying, because that's, remember, that's for family, so they're not paying $600 for a tiny little one bedroom, because they need to put their whole family in the house. So they're not going to be paying $600 for a little boxy 50 to 70 meter apartment, which I myself don't consider luxury living. Honestly, I don't. The thing is that these Ram magazines always want to be the ones to tell you, to give you the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, the hidden secrets of Salinas. Folks, there's no hidden secrets of Salinas. If there were, I would have told you. Here's an interesting tidbit that the permanent residency retirees with a monthly pension of at least $1,500. Well, what happened to $1,365? Oh, plus $250 per dependent, and that means your wife, so that's $1,750. You've got to show $1,750, not $1,365. Let's see, applicants with monthly income of at least $2,000. Without getting into the smallest details of the actual residency laws, what you're really looking at is a multiple step process where when you first get there, you get a temporary residency for 4 months, and then you got to apply again, and so there's all these fees, that you got to come up with that they don't tell you about. So you got to pay all the fees the first time for the first 4 months, and then reapply again for a more longer lasting residency, that is only good for 1 year, and then each year thereafter you have to renew your residency. So there's like a yearly tax, renewal fees, what have you, and they're not insignificant. They're quite high, and so if you have multiple people in a household, they can really amount to actually adding quite a bit of money to your actual monthly amount amortized over a year. Like, $1,200 would be in a year of extra fees for immigration fees, amounts to an extra $100 a month on your expenses. So those expenses that were nowhere to be seen in the budget projections that were claimed, the budget projections that were claimed were just all very, very basic, that did not include these fees that everyone is going to have to add to their budget. So goodbye $1,365 a month. Just to look at a few more of these. $1,500 for a 3-bedroom. $1,500 for a 3-bedroom. And that's the thing too. A lot of people will come here and they won't really rent a 1-bedroom. When you promote the place as a place that you can live at $1,365, and then you come down here and you see that you're going to get a little boxy, little 600 square foot cubicle, and you say, well, forget that. Let's go get, they got pretty big places, but they're pretty high priced. $5,000, 3-bedroom. $1,350 for a 1-bedroom. Wow, we're a little cavalier on this one. $1,350 for a 1-bedroom 65-meter apartment. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. Some of these apartments are quite spacious, but again, you're going to spend $2,500 to live the luxe life in the Caribbean without the price tag. That is just so misleading. And of course, guys, if you are a long-term follower, you already know that it's going to be extremely possible to do, but not the way they're promoting it. We've been in Ecuador for 6 years and have never paid more than $300 for a house or apartment. We've been in multiple locations now in Ecuador. Some were new houses, some were a little older but well kept. And we've never paid more than $300. And you know that the way we have to do it is to stay away from all this smoke and mirrors. Stay away from all of this traffic. This is just people going to these places, paying tourist prices, and then putting it on the internet as if, that's the cost to live there. And of course the locals are not, they are not paying those prices. So yeah, you can do it, but you're going to have to know the language. We talk a lot about that on this channel. You're going to have to know the language, and you're going to have to be comfortable not living in a expat community. You're going to have to be comfortable living outside of the expat community in a local community. And that's how you're going to get your locally priced decent rentals. And it's not going to be beachfront, or the next street over or anything like that. You're going to be, you're going to have to get on the bus or take a taxi and go to the beach that way. But yeah, when you tell people the luxe life without the price tag, and then you couple that with a budget of $1,365. Of course, we jump right into $200,000 and $300,000 houses, which is the real scheme here.